Hello everybody and welcome to a Vivify review of Shin Megami Tensei Persona. Okay, let's get the annoyances out of the way. Persona suffers from a few similar issues with the SNES Shin Megami Tensei games. The movement controls feel very stiff, especially when in third person due to movement being on a grid instead of being able to move in 8 directions. You do get used to these after a while, but if you don't play the game for a couple of days, you have to kind of learn them again. The battle formation, while a good idea in theory, as it adds a little realism in regards to keeping the squishy people at the back, it's incredibly limiting when it comes to your attacks. For example, when it comes to attacking someone who's on the front row or in a straight line. In a real life scenario, this would be solved by moving an inch to your left or right, then using the attack. But in the game you have to be in the perfect spot for your attack to actually hit something. The game kind of warned you early on to not go nuts with using your persona, but this is actually a lie. Go crazy with your SP or magic moves because when you level up it gets replenished and there are plenty of SP recovery items, most of which are actually really cheap in the shops to buy as well. The battle system has tons of variety in regards to elements and attack types, which is great, but I can see people being quite confused if this is their first RPG. Oh, and say it with me, the encounter rates are needlessly high, especially on the world map. Anyways, enough of the negativity, let's get on to the good stuff. The story is pretty interesting. The world gets overcome by demons and your hometown is completely sectioned off from everywhere else. That is, everywhere else except your hometown from an alternate dimension. It's pretty cool piecing together information from the two dimensions and figuring out which it relates to. The characters themselves are pretty likeable, except for maybe one or two. The main character is silent, as is the norm for Shin Megami Tensei games, but you do get a bunch of choices to make for yourself, so you aren't a complete mute. There is loads of pointless dialogue and a bunch of idle animations in this game when you're just roaming around, but that's actually a really good thing. It adds more personality to all the characters without forcing it during events. The music is fantastic, my two favourite songs being the Mikage police station and the mall themes. Between you and me, I'd probably commit more crimes if all the police stations had that song with them. Once again, you can chat up demons to recruit them via spell cards which are fused to get unique demons. You can get the demons on side by flirting, dancing, whistling, singing, joking, hiding, crying, playing rock, paper, scissors, pretty much anything you can think of. It's pretty overwhelming when there are so many different playable characters who each have 4 choices, which again have different effects on a demon. Finally, I like the fact that the characters have their own physical stats and so do the demons. I've always preferred this instead of just the persona having the stats. Enough of me chewing your ear holes, I give Persona a solid 8 out of 10. It does suffer from early days RPG issues, but there is a lot going in the right direction for this game. I easily recommend it for you RPG fans. You know who you are.